Magnets are one of the coolest things I think that you can do for experiments. And there's hundreds of different things that you can do. I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'd suggest that you might want to invest in a couple of kits. This is one I've used quite a bit. This one has to do with levitation. It takes a little more technique and a little more practice, but it's pretty cool to make things actually levitate. And the kids really enjoy that. So you can do some things that levitate with this one, and it has instructions on how to do that. But we're going to look at some things that are simple things that you have around the house that you might not think about being magnets. You have lots of things like this is a little thing that you can attach to your filing cabinet to put your paper clips in or whatever. Most of you have little magnets on your refrigerator door, all kinds of things. Another thing that's magnetic that you might not think about that the kids might appreciate is, I don't know whether years ago you used to play with one of these little fellows or not, but all that is this is a magnet on the end of this, and it has iron particles on the inside, and where the magnet pulls those iron particles to the front is why it makes the drawings on the board. So those are some things that I'm sure your kids have all seen. Magnets come in all different shapes and sizes. There's great big ones like this one, there's little mini ones like this one, and obviously you can get them in all kinds of shapes. So we're going to look at 2 or 3 things that you can do with magnets. Also, don't forget that magnets actually work. Talk about the science behind magnets, about why they work and why they don't work. Talk about the polar parts of the earth and how a compass works to tell north from south and east from west. There's all kinds of information that you can do there. Now, I wanted to show you this one little fellow. These are just little hex nuts that you might buy at the hardware store. It came in this kit, but I think they're pretty cool. I've stacked them just on a magnet, and you can stack them to make different little figures. I'm making a little man here, and he obviously is sticking, so all of those different people are parts of that little man have become magnetic because they are attached to this, and you can take them apart or add to them, I'm making some ears or whatever, but pretty interesting as long as they're attached to that magnet. Obviously, when they come apart, they're not magnetic anymore, and there's lots of scientific background behind that. This is a little car that comes in this original set with little wheels. This is a good experiment to talk about. These are magnets. The round things on here are magnets. But it's easy to talk about repulsion, how that one side will repel. If you turn the magnet around or use the other magnet, then it will pull to you. So an interesting thing to talk about, the different, come off there, the different, whether it's repelling or if it's pulling. So very good lesson in terms of that. This little thing also turns into a little fishing pole, if I can get him apart here. And they send some little magnetic fish with it that you can, I guess it'd help if I put the magnets on it, that you can fish with and pick up these little magnetic fish. Come on, fella. So they have some of those in the kit as well. Now, we have lots of things that are magnetic around the house. Oh, also they send a little piece or a little tube of iron shavings that you can pour out in a pan and pick up with your magnet to make all kinds of different little shapes, funny looking shapes. I went to the local machine shop and got little shavings that they would give you for nothing, and could do the same thing with that as well. Now, you might also talk about how things are maybe not what you would think. If you take a magnet, obviously you can pick up a paper clip, that's no problem. But what about with the problem with water? Would water allow you to pick that same magnet up, or would water cause a problem with that? Again, you can make some predictions, make some logical explanations about why that's the case. So let's see if you can. So what's your hypothesis? Will this pick that paper clip up? I don't know whether you can see or not, but you can see I can take that paper clip all the way to the top. So that has to do with how much the water affects it or not affects it, the magnetism of that. Now I've got just a little strip of magnets here, paper clips, and notice that we talked about levitation in one of those. You can sort of do some levitation with this as well. And let's see if I can back off here. So because they are still close to each other, I can do at least a temporary levitation with this magnet. I don't know whether you can see the forces that are involved or not, but you can see the force pulling it and the levitation that could be involved in that kit over there. So magnets, lots and lots and lots of things you can do with magnets, easy things to find to do, good experiments.